Hello and welcome to the Userful 9.6 beta program, finally. In this video, I'm going to be going over the new management interface, Userful Cloud and Userful Control Center. This is the entirely new from scratch system that is going to completely replace Userful Manager, so no more Userful Manager. Basically, what you're going to do is once you've got your Userful system installed from the DVD, the download link in the ISO image I sent out, give it credentials, and I will give you also a login link for Userful Cloud so you can register and create your organization. You'll then be able to log in and claim your machine. It's a very simple process. And later on, I'll probably make a video about it, but for now, we're just going to stick with diving right into the cloud here. So cloud.userful.com is accessible anywhere. I'm just going to log in, and I'm going to have my machine show up here. Here we are. Of course, in your organization, once you add more machines and claim them, they'll all show up here in the management interface. You can do a number of things right here from the cloud interface. Again, interface is available anywhere, just from cloud.userful.com. It also works on mobile. We can do a number of things right off the bat. I can run some diagnostics. You can ignore that. I can see if all my displays are up and running or not, and I see my support status, and I can do a number of other little operations which are very handy. Will be expanded in the future as well. This is a beta interface and beta program. Lots more functionality is going to be added as time goes on. We're very excited about this platform. The main thing that we're going to do, though, is go into the Userful Control Center, because that's where all the nitty-gritty of our stations are managed and our various desktops and zero clients. So I'm just going to click right here, Actions, and go to Machine. And it's going to send me right to this page, or basically to this page. And again, accessible from anywhere. So no more remote monitoring control, no more crazy firewall rules. This is all just accessible through the web from anywhere, including us. So we can support you much more easily. From the beginning here, this is the interface where we manage our zero clients. It's quite similar to the Userful Control Center in Userful Desktop in that you can give your clients static IPs, give them names, numbers, all that sort of thing. It's it's easier, a little bit more up to date, and the backend is more robust than Userful Desktop. So there are fewer workarounds and things that you have to worry about doing. Also, the really nice thing about this interface is if you want to rename a station, renumber a station, that's all you have to do, and click OK, and it's dynamically done. No more crazy resets to do renumbering. All of your zero clients should have names and locations at least already set on them, so mapping these to your host won't be too difficult. You can just clock them, map them, change their numbering, and then you're ready to go. So your Userful Control Center is going to look a little different than this, so it's going to have some demo content down here, but none of it does what we want, so I'm starting from blank. We have our zero clients. They're all listed up here, or they're all down here. So I have the way we do this in Userful 9 now is we have multiple what we call sources. Userful 9 does a lot as far as digital signage and video wall goes. So you're going to see a lot of references in here to things that have to do with signage, but we have a lot of functionality here built in for our public library consumers as well. So basically, on this particular screen right now, this is the onboard station on the computer. I can disable it, turn it off. I've just named it station 100, so it's not interfering with my numbering order. But I don't want to use that for my public patrons. So I'm going to go create a new source. So right now I'm going to walk through actually configuring an adult internet desktop and a web browser, a library catalog kiosk. I'm going to show you all the steps. So I'm going to start by just creating a new source. I'm going to call it whatever I want. Adult Internet. All completely from scratch. I don't think there's anything created in here. I'm going to show you how easy this is. So we have a number of sources here. Again, most of these are related to signage and digital media. For our purposes, for what we're going to put in front of our library patrons, we're going to use the cloud desktop if we want to give them a workspace, and I will show you what that looks like in a moment here, and I'll go into more detail in it in another video. So I'm going to set my home page doing that because it's a little less media intensive. I'm going to add the applications I want to the desktop. I'm going to have Firefox. I'm going to have Chrome. I'm going to have my LibreOffice suite. And to keep things basic, I'll leave it at that for now. Boom, there are my icons. I'm going to move this one up just because I like to do that. You can also add a web link to whatever I want, and I'll be making more use of that in the future. I'll pick my desktop background. You can upload more to that folder in the local machine, or we can just go with it. And I've created a source. There's my adult internet station. Now, of course, we don't want to give people just unlimited access to their adult internet stations. So I'm going to configure as well some session management. But first, let's do one more source. I call it library catalog. For this one, instead of a cloud desktop, what we're going to use is a web browser. We can do just a plain standard Chrome, which looks exactly like my screen here. You've got all your toolbars and back and forward and our address bar minus the extensions. Chrome app or kiosk are essentially the same thing. They just show the full screen, so there's no top bar at all. Cloud Session opens a tab that prompts you to sign into Chrome, so it operates a little bit more like a Chrome OS device. So for this purpose, and same thing, Firefox full screen. I haven't tested this one yet, but let's stick to the main browsers. So I'm going to pick a Chrome kiosk. I'm going to give it whatever icon we can upload more of these. And I'm going to send it to that. Now, interesting little tidbit about these sessions and things that you'll notice on a few other different session types if you decide to play with them. Retain or discard changes. So for a catalog, for a public kiosk, obviously we want to discard changes. So every time somebody logs out, everything's reset, gone, and done. Retain means that session is persistent. So if you log in and if you need to set in some credentials and keep a live browser session going, you can do that. For right now, though, we're going to discard. 3D support, I don't need to do that. I don't have a very media intensive browser, so I'm just going to turn that off for right now. That's it. I've added a new source. I want to put my stations in here. I want stations 1, 2, 3, 4 to be adult internet, 5 and 6 to be, I'll create a large print later, and 7, 8, 9 will be my catalogs. Let's pretend. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. They're adult internet stations now. It's finished. Now, of course, I want to do some, I don't want those to log in automatically. I want them to show the welcome screen, so I'm going to turn that feature on. I'm going to apply that as well. Now, of course, I haven't configured any sort of time limit or authentication, so I'm going to do that right now as well. Right in here, next to an applicable source, we have the ability to do session management. If this isn't showing up for you, please do let me know. That means I need to make an adjustment on your license. So I'm going to, I've already made these. I'm going to make some new ones. I'm going to add a new session management profile. And I can apply this to any profile I want to, but for right now, I'm just going to leave it on the one. So I'm going to call it adult desktop. A login method. So we will import your authentication profiles here from Userful Manager. You just be able to click it and boom, it's going to start working. My usage agreement, I'm going to enter in whatever I like here. Or copy and paste your existing usage agreement. Very simple. I want to give it a 60-minute session. My inactivity timeout by default is 5 minutes. We're doing some cool stuff with this in the later release. I'll tell you about that later. I'll get my warning message. My first warning is 10 minutes before the end. My second message is 2 minutes before the end. I can enable this to be large print if I want. I won't do that right now. I can set it to use a proxy server, filter it sends web traffic if you have an external filter. If this is going to be a kiosk session, I'll use an on-screen keyboard. I'll go into that more in a bit. And then my web filter, let's make a new web filter here. So I can do filter, and I can either do naughtiness level, low, medium, or high. This works similar to the way the Userful Manager does with its dynamic content filter. So it's a word count, pick whatever one works best for you. Or I can set up a whitelist if I want to do a catalog. So I'm going to keep that on medium. Actually, I'm going to keep it on low right now because it's a little buggy in this particular release. Adult filter, done. I'm finished. I've created an adult internet desktop session. And that's all there is to it. Apply. Let's go have a look at one of these sessions. So the really cool thing about this interface as well, the staff will have access to this feature too, is I have the ability to manage the station directly. So change the screen resolution, rotation. Again, we do a lot of audio-visual stuff, so there's a lot of that involved in this too. I can, instead of Userful remote monitoring and control, I can pick the session, adult internet, and log it in. One click, done. And then I can give them more time as well. Or I can give them, this is a neat little mathematical bug, I can give them less time if I enter -25. That's always fun. That's it. Those are the remote monitoring and controls that we have currently. The other really cool thing is if I want to look at that station, I launch the interactive viewer. If that doesn't work for you, again, tell me. I need to do something with your license. I'm going to zoom that in. So I can see the station. I can see exactly what's going on that screen if they're watching a YouTube video, if they're doing something inappropriate, or if you want to verify that they're actually doing homework and this is why they need 15 more minutes. I can also take control of the station directly, and I can go and log in. That should have prompted me with the usage agreement. I think it just hadn't reset, so I'll try it again. There we go. When we have an authentication profile up here, we'll be asking for barcode and PIN. Users agreement, I have right to and I agree, log in. And here we have our desktop. I'm going to go into more details about the actual desktop in a different video. Right now, this is just configuration, showing you how to make it all work. I'm going to log out at the moment and go back to the control center. Turn that off, close it. That's interactive viewer, very cool. I've got my library catalog here. I'm going to create another session management profile for that one. Call it whatever I like. No login, no usage agreement, no session length, or you can if you want. I'm going to set a 1 minute or 2 minute privacy logout. In a future version, you'll be able to do neat things with a countdown. Again, I'll go into that later. I'm not going to bother with warning messages. It's just going to reset after 2 minutes. I'm going to create my whitelist. Add whatever site I want into here. Notice only domains, not necessarily specific URLs, no HTTP, no www. Applied that basic filter to it. I'm going to turn the filter off because I know it's not going to work properly if I have it, but it's there. And then something else we can do really quickly here, I'll show you. It's an on-screen keyboard, and I'll show you how that works as well. So I've applied my catalog session management profile, apply. Notice this has a clock next to it because it has, as you can see, a 60-minute time limit. This one does not, no time limit. I'm going to make some catalog stations, 5, 6, apply. Keep them on a welcome screen. If I turn this off, then it logs the session in automatically, so the browser is just there on the session. And again, I'm going to use the interactive viewer to look at my session. Scale that down. Library catalog. And let's put it this way for now. Basically, here's your catalog. Here's a website. You can't go outside the whitelist boundary. Easy, done. Nice thing about this touch keyboard, if I have a touchscreen device, and we are working with and selling those, if anybody's interested in that, just contact myself or Leo. When I click in an input field or a text field or touch, it doesn't want to work. in a new text field, the on-screen keyboard pops up. This is a Chrome extension. This only works in Chrome, but it works quite well. I have had the chance to play with it, and it does work for touch functionality quite well. So if you want a touchscreen web kiosk, no keyboard, no mouse, just the screen, we have Power over Ethernet all-in-one models, which are very slick. That's it. That's a kiosk. Close. And that's that. I will show off really quickly the large print. So, and also you can combine sources to create a welcome screen here. So I'm going to make another new source. Again, right from scratch. This takes almost no time at all. Add my applications. Holding the control key to select multiple applications here. That, and that. There it is. Desktop background, default again. Okay. I'm going to make the same session management profile. I'm just going to copy that to make it a little easier. And make that, paste that. 60 minutes. Maybe I want to give my hard of hearing, seeing people a little bit more time, whichever. 5 minutes, 10-minute message, 2-minute message, text goes in there. Large print mode. Turn on the adult filter. It's already created. Done. Large print. Apply. I want that to appear on the same screen as this one, though. I want to combine these so I can combine multiple sources into one welcome screen. Or I can do all of it. Put them all right there. This is the default, so these screens move up there. Now I have a combined welcome screen for everything. Apply that change. Click, click. And here's my welcome screen. Scale that down. Look at the large print really quickly. Yes, I agree. Log in. Large print currently only works as far as browsers go in Firefox. So we told Firefox to go into kind of larger print, high contrast mode here. And you can see we've kind of muted some colors and interface elements. Chrome looks the same for now. Again, beta. Turn that off. I don't actually have to uncheck that. I'm just a creature of habit. And that's about it. You can add some kids programs to make a kids profile. You can change session management profiles. You can add as many profiles as you want. You can click around and play and do anything with these stations. You can also, if you're interested in getting into signage or showing off some kiosks or just some plain hang up a TV and run some contents of videos or images, then we have their very robust system here for handling media content. Otherwise, that is a tour of Userful Control Center in Userful 9. Again, this is a beta. Your feedback is highly appreciated and much needed. Anything that you do forward to me, feature requests that you want, things that you need, I'd be happy to help you out with. Things like printer management, user authentication, things like that, those are left to me. You don't have to worry about them at all. Just give me your information and I will set that up for you at this point. Anyway, that's the end of this video. In the next one, I'll be doing a tour of the cloud desktop and user experience. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.